Give a little bit of juice here. Oh, you can hear that turbo boost just kicked in there. And it's got some decent, it's got some good low end torque, and it gets you out of the way pretty easy. As you can see, it's got good power. I mean, it's got a peppy engine for sure. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Peter. In today's video, we're going to get behind the wheel of this 2022 Volkswagen Taos S. Now, before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to Bartow Ford for allowing me some time with this Taos. Big thank you to Tim, and I'll put all their information in a link to their website in the description below. In today's video, we're going to get behind the wheel of this 2022 Volkswagen Taos S. Now, I'm very excited because this is the first time I'm going to get behind the wheel of Volkswagen's smallest SUV. Volkswagen decided in 2022 to come into the market of the subcompact area where it's super competitive. You get a lot of competition from basically Toyota, Honda, Kia, Volkswagen, Buick, Chevrolet, you name it. Everybody's got a subcompact SUV. Now, this one in particular that we have with us here, it is a pre-owned one. It's got just over 18,500 miles on it, and they're asking just under $25,000. Now, this one that we have with us here is the Taos S, which is basically your base Taos models. We have an SE and an SEL, and for 2023 you're looking at just over $24,000 for a base S like this one, and you're looking at about just over $33,000 for an SEL, almost a fully loaded model. Now, this one that we have with us here, guys, is finished off in a platinum gray metallic, which is a really cool color. It's kind of course, your basic, boring gray, but it's got some really nice metallic paint to it. Really nice the way it looks. Sometimes it kind of got a bluish tone to it once you see it in the sun. But overall, the styling is really nice. I mean, it's a subcompact SUV, pretty small. It was parked before next to a Ford Escape, and it is definitely smaller than an Escape. But, so coming around, as you can see, guys, really like the wheels are nice. The same kind of color, the dark, kind of those grayish wheels as well. You got the Taos name here, along with a bit of chrome here, as you can see. Of course, we got the Matte window, the Matte side mirrors as well here. There's no side markers or anything down here on this one. Here in the bottom, we do have some LED daytime running lights. We have LED headlights, and of course, we got no type of fog lights or anything like that. Being the base model here, we got a really interesting combination. Of course, you got the VW badge there. Got a bit of chrome, kind of like a piano shadow trim here, as you can see. It's more plastic in the bottom, and a bit of a silver gray there, as you can see, or silver or a kind of aluminum plate finish to it. It's kind of interesting the way everything's looks, but it's got some fake hood scoops here as well, as you can see, some air scoops here. So that's not bad at all. I mean, the styling is nice for this subcompact SUV that we have with us here. But overall, I'm very impressed. For $25,000, that's actually a pretty good looking SUV. All right, checking out the rear of this Taos. Let's go and just check out, before we open the hatch, let's go check out the key. As you can see, we got open, close, just a release of your hatch, because this was not open automatically. Unfortunately, there's no option for this one here on this base model. We do have some LED lights as well, as you can see there. And let's go ahead and open up this hatch. Let's grab a little handle here. As you can see, we also have a reverse camera there as well. So coming here to the back of this Taos, plenty of space, I think, for this type of subcompact SUV. The floor is kind of sunk down a little bit lower than usual, which gives you more space. Here we have 28 cubic feet of space here to store your things. Pretty good size, to be honest with you, for this type of SUV, or smallish SUV. As you can see, the seats fold down there, which is pretty good. You got a lot more space here, about 66 cubic feet if you fold the seats down. The only thing, we don't have no type of connection at all, no 12 volt or anything like that. We just have basically just a basic light here. As you can see, we got some floor mats that are coming with this Taos. These are about $275 options from what I saw. These are rubber floor mats, and we have the Volkswagen's Cargo Protection System, which is a pretty nice feeling rock mat here, as you can see. We have some hooks in there just to kind of put your things together, but nothing else for this back of this storage area. And you can see, if we pull this up a little bit here, we do have a spare tire here in the back, which is awesome to see, because usually you don't see much spare tires at all, or newer cars, and especially nowadays. But overall, really good size for this subcompact SUV. It's kind of wide and kind of tall, so you got plenty of good space here in the back. But there we go, guys. Let's go ahead and just put this on. We're gonna grab the handle here and bring this down. And there we go. And on a simple note, guys, this one here that we have with us is a front-wheel drive model Taos Whiskey Gear base. The suspension for this ones are usually a little bit different than the 4Motion all-wheel drive one. This ones here have a torsion bar set up in the rear as a rear suspension, which is kind of more like a solid axle. I'll put a little bit of video that I took there before. But basically, if you go to the 4Motion, you're going to get a multi-link suspension in the rear instead of the torsion bar, which is basically going to affect how the ride and basically have a little more sporting demeanor to the suspension there. Just a little bit quick tick of that. All right, coming here to the hood of this Taos. We're going to raise it up, guys. It's a little bit heavy, and of course at this price range we're not going to have any type of hydraulic shocks. We're going to have a little stick here, our hood rod to put up the hood. So here we have a 1.5 liter inline 4 turbo producing 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Of course, this one in this model is driving the front wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now of course, as this is the sole engine you can get on all Taos models or all Taos trims, basically all the same engine. This is a brand new engine for 2022, if I'm correct, that VW introduced. This is kind of new design, but it is still a pretty potent little peppy engine that we have. Now of course, if we go to the 4Motion all-wheel drive model, you're gonna the transmission is gonna switch from an 8-speed automatic to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. That's basically what you get when you go to the overdrive system. But overall, a really nice engine. In terms of the fuel economy, of course, you got about 28 miles in the city, 36 miles on the highway, so it's going to be a combined about mid-30s, so it's pretty good fuel consumption for this model. It's got plenty of low-end torque, obviously not a lot of power, but I think it's a pretty good power plant overall for this smallish SUV. So all right, let's go ahead and drop the hood and head up to the interior because it's hot as hell today in Florida. All right, let's go ahead and check out the interior of this Taos S. As you can see, guys, being the base model, this one's got the black cloth interior, as they mentioned. There is a bit of different, great textures as you can see here. We got just a bit of black soft leather here, a lot of hard plastics, considering this is a subcompact SUV. But let's head inside and check out how it is. It's all right sitting in the back of this Taos. It's actually pretty comfortable, plenty of headroom. As you can see, I'm on 5'11". There's plenty of headspace here. This being the base model, there's no pockets or anything here in the back. Actually, there's the floor mats I just mentioned. This one, the seat is back a little further than it should be, but I still got about an inch and a half, about an inch or so left between my knees and the seat. Coming back here, there is no type of AC outlet or connection at all. As you can see, there's just got a little bit of spaces to put your things there. But overall, I like the cloth feels pretty rugged. As you can see, it's got like a 3-tone. There's a bit of gray. We have a little bit of black, and also there's quite a bit of lights, a little bit of white stitching. Really nice. As you can see, guys, we do have a center armrest here to put your things there, and there is a little pass-through as well. As you can see there, that opens up, so you can have a little pass-through as well to the rear hatch area. But overall, very nice. I mean, I like the seats. It really feels nice. There is an optional sunroof you can get on this one, or a panoramic sunroof, but you have to go to the SEL, if I'm correct, to get that panoramic sunroof. But overall, it's actually not bad. Pretty comfortable and a nice space. The seats are pretty comfy. And for a $25,000 SUV, this is not crazy, but it's really nice for basically a subcompact SUV. Let's go ahead and get inside of this Taos. As you can see, we have a little bit of Volkswagen engraved in. That's a pretty cool little detail that Volkswagen did. Let's go ahead and open the door. So here we have really nice interior. I mean, I like it. You can see coming here to the door, we have a little bit of a diamond pattern, but it's all hard plastic, but it looks really nice. Kind of breaks up all the black plastic that we have here on the side here, but it's really nice. We have some black planet trim, as you can see there. We have window controls, mirror controls there, and we also have a little bit of a deep space. Not a lot of space, but you got some pretty decent space here to put on your bottles and stuff there. Of course, we have basically a free release door there. Now coming here, guys, since this is a base model, we have basically your base seats. So we have all manual seats. As you can see, these are got a pretty decent side bolstering there. We have a leather red steering wheel. We have all kinds of plastic. We have a little more piano trim, as you can see there, and a little more of that diamond gray part in there of the plastic trim here that we have here. We have, of course, control for your lights, manually adjustable and tilt and telescope and steering wheel, and that's about it. For as you can see, guys, pretty simple interior. And let's go ahead and jump inside. All right, so we're inside of this Volkswagen Taos. Really nice interior. I mean, I like the layout, the cockpit of everything looks really well laid out. Let's go ahead and get the engine started because we got to get some AC. It's super hot out here, and it's almost 100+ degrees here in Central Florida right now. We got kind of a heat wave, and it's pretty crazy right now. The heat, it's a complete sauna, especially with the humidity here in Florida. Sorry, guys, straighten out the wheel here a little bit. You can see really nice the way this interior is laid out. Let's go ahead and hear this engine a little bit here if we can hear it. I can slightly hear the turbo whistle, but obviously that's a pretty quiet engine compared to the Ford Bronco Sport that I heard. You can definitely hear the blow-off valve on that much better. So, all right, let's go ahead and close the door. we got to get that AC going because it's quite hot here. So now that we have the door closed and have some to cool down the interior, let's start off with the ergonomics of this Taos. It's very, very nice. I mean, overall, the interior's got a really nice layout, very spacious. It doesn't feel cramped or anything like that, considering this is a subcompact SUV. I like the layout of the dash. We got a lot of black piano trim, as you can see there, even going into the door. But this plastic diamond trim in gray does really help it out to kind of break up all this kind of blackness here for the plastics. Let's go check out the glove box. Pretty good size there, as you can see. All the materials, yeah, this is basically hard plastic, and over here is as well. Then here, of course, you got all just a little more hard plastic, as you can see. Obviously, considering this is a, $25,000 SUV, kind of the kind of thing you expect. But overall, still very nice. The steering wheel is leather, right? It's not leather, but it does feel very nice in your hand. So we got a little nice pattern here, as you can see in the center of the steering wheel. We got a bit of aluminum, and all this feels very nice. This quality doesn't feel like it's gonna be, be losing its texture very soon. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 18,574 mile pre-owned Taos, and as you can see, it's got no wear and tear at all. And very, very nice to see that this it's got no tear at all. I've been in cars that's got 20,000 miles, and you can see they've been run through, but this has got really nice. Somebody took care of this one here, and I really like it. All right, let's go ahead and start here, guys. We have here a 6.5-inch screen here, touchscreen from Volkswagen. This is a very basic stereo, really no connections, just basically by USB or by Bluetooth. Other than that, it's got no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. You have to go up to the next 8-inch radio, next system in the SE or SEL to get the more technology. Of course, it's being basic. It's got a basic speaker stereo. I think it's a 4-speaker stereo, which sounds okay, nothing latest and greatest. But other than that, there's basically not much things you can do. There's just basic menu, really basic infotainment system. Here we go to the bottom. We got your AC outlets. We got your hazards. Here we have a 1-zone manual AC, which is basically your base AC system. We got a couple of USB connections there. As you can see, my phone is fitting there. This does not have any type of wireless charging. You have to go to the top models for the SE or SEL. We got a 12-volt connection here. Here we have your 8-speed automatic start-stop button. Here we have basically your parking brake. Here we have your button for the automatic start-stop doing the lights, and that's basically about it. You can see a lot of empty switches here that are basically, you get those filled up once you go higher in trim. As you can see, I have my water here. We have a couple of cup holders, a little more space here, and here we have your center armrest, which has a little bit of flat, but feels really nice, a little bit softer, and there's no connections there at all. As you can see, just kind of more space, but overall really nice. As you can see, the seats are kind of nice, it's kind of like a more 3-tone seats that are very soft feeling. Really love this cloth seats. Coming here to the center, of course, the steering wheel feels really nice. This is not leather, it's called leather red, but it is heated, which is really nice. I love this pattern here. It feels really soft, but it really feels comfortable, and it feels rugged as well. Doesn't feel like it's gonna crumble in your hands a few months from now. As you can see, this one here we have here is an 8-inch kind of semi-configurable screen here. You can get a bigger screen also as well on the SEL, but this is more your base digital screen. As you can see, guys, here we can switch between patterns there. You can do the digital speedometer, tachometer, or just more the way you like it. Now here we have a couple of buttons where you can control the left side of what you want to be displayed on the screen, or the right hand side as well. All the information there from what gear you're on, the display, the economic, all the kind of stuff you can do. As you can see, really not bad. Really nice, and plenty of things you can display on your settings. So let's go that back to driving and data, which I had on there. But overall, of course, you get a digital speedometer, and if we switch it back to this, we can go and put a tach there as well, with also digital speedometer that kind of puts on the middle. So, but there we go, guys. Pretty simple, very Germanistic type of interior. We got a little more cubicles here in the top, pretty hard plastic here, but more piano trim as well. Not a big piano trim, because of course, just putting your fingertip, as you can see, this is already attracting a lot of dust and stuff. But that's what you get with this overall Taos base model. But for $24,000, $25,000, it's actually a pretty good SUV, to be honest, of what you get. A bit of nice aluminum trim here. We got a kind of semi-flat bottom steering wheel, and overall you can tell that it's really nice laid out. All right, let's go ahead and go for a drive. Let me put on my seatbelt, which is very important. As always, I suggest putting on your seatbelt once the car moves. So let's go, before we go on, let's go ahead and check out the reverse camera. Now, as you can see here, we got a very base system. There's trajectory lens, but they don't move, and there are no sensors at all. And the graphics to the camera, I mean, the display, it's okay. I mean, it's pretty clear. Not the greatest or most clear display, but it does do the job well. And let's go ahead, guys, and go frontwards. Now, there are no type of sport modes or anything. That is just basically your bigger than speed. You got a semi-sport here going to the right, but other than that, we're gonna leave it in just in normal mode. Then let's go out for a drive in this 2022 Taos S. Now, as you can see, the steering wheel feels really nice. It's got nice perfect kind of thickness to it. Let's make a U-turn here. It's really easy. It does a U-turn pretty quickly. Now, of course, we got an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, this is the first time I'm really heading out to the road and driving this SUV. I really like it. I mean, it's a very nice feeling, very light on its feet. The steering wheel feels super light as well. You know, nice little solid feeling. It's quite spacious in here, to be honest. It doesn't feel cramped or anything like a subcompact SUV. Sometimes I've been in the Toyota CHR, which feels pretty cramped inside, but this has got plenty of room. You don't feel cramped or anything at all. Now the start, as you can see, the start just came, just automatically shut down the engine, which is interesting. That I don't like that. I'm gonna shut that off because I don't like it. So you can start stop deactivated. So, all right, let's go and give a little bit of turn, check out a little bit of how this feels in handling wise. It's pretty nice. It feels light on its feet for sure. Doesn't feel heavy at all or anything like that. So far it's very quiet. Very seamless transmission changes. Brake has a nice pedal feel to it. There we go, get a little bit of torque there coming up. But it feels quiet, it's very quiet. It's even refined. I mean, it's pretty nice to drive so far. We're going doing low speeds, but suspension is nice. Doesn't feel, you know, stiff or anything like that. Or any, you know, it doesn't feel very, let's wait a little bit here. But yeah, I like the cockpit. Everything just feels really nice on your hands. Everything's well laid out, even though it's more of a basic interior, but it's doing its job very well. Let's go check out, I guess we got a couple of cars coming here. And we have a little Fiat here turning. And we got nobody else. Let's go ahead and let's give it a little bit of a push here. So it's got a little bit of torque curve. Yeah, you can tell there's missing some horsepower on the top, but it does get up to speed pretty easily. Obviously, this got to be the same type of motor that's in the Jetta as well. Obviously, the Jetta I drove was a manual one. This feels a little different, but I like that it's an 8-speed regular one, not a CVT transmission. Thank you, Volkswagen, for doing that. I like regular transmission. This is a very seamless transmission, very smooth. You can even feel the shifts, and the engine's quiet as well. You don't hear like the buzziness of a 4-cylinder revving. It's very quiet. I think Volkswagen did a nice job of quieting the engine. It feels refined in terms of it's not a buzzy transmission or anything like that. Let's put this thing I'm going to stop by and stop on. Let's switch it to sport here a little bit, here to the right, and see how that differs. Something got waiting for the lights up. Let me know what you guys think so far of this Volkswagen Taos S. Obviously, it's the base model. Of course, as I mentioned, there's an SE, SEL. If you want all the bigger screens, the bigger screen here for your radio, a lot more, you know, Bluetooth, all that kind of stuff, all that sub, you know, you have to go to the SEL. Also, if you want four-wheel drive as well. But overall, you know, for this base, you know, base transportation in for about $25,000, it's actually a pretty good amount of SUV. Quiet, feels comfortable. And let's... Oh, we got to do this manually there, okay. Now we're gonna just put it back on regular. I don't know how that works, but don't seem to like it. This seems to over-rev the engine more than actually works, but just going back to normal mode here. Actually, that's pretty decent torque down low. Obviously, they don't have a lot of high-end horsepower, but for in town, it's perfect. Suspension is very nice. It's got a very nice mix of handling. You can tell it's got light. The steering feel is light. There's not much steering feedback at all, but it definitely goes. It's pretty pointy. It goes where you point it to be pretty quickly. It's got pretty direct steering. That's a little bit of wind noise, but no tire noise at all. It's pretty quiet. We're doing 65 miles an hour. And the handling, I mean, this thing feels pretty buttoned down. I like the suspension. The suspension is not floaty, but it's got a perfect amount of suspension travel and suspension soaking up the bumps very well, even though this road's a little bit rough. But wow, overall very nice. Versa definitely feels a little bit higher up. You know, it feels more like a regular SUV than like a subcompact, you know, cheapo model. And for $25,000, wow, this is a pretty nice, more than I expected it. This nice to feel for this Volkswagen Taos. Brake pretty firm. The more you give it, yeah, there's my stuff hanging out the front there, but the brake pedal is pretty firm. I like it. It's got a nice progressive one and the more power. It's kind of similar to Ford's, the way Fords are. You know, it's got a really nice linear, and the pads are really nice the way they feel. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of juice here. Oh, you can hear that turbo boost just kicked in there. And it's got some decent, it's got some good low end torque, and it gets you out of the way pretty easy. As you can see, it's got good power. I mean, it's got a peppy engine for sure. Definitely, it's got a peppy power plant. I love the transmission. I hate those CVTs. This is definitely much good transmission there. Yeah, I like it. This Taos is pretty nice. Considering the price range for an everyday car, man, this is nice. Comfortable. The seats are comfortable. I love that they're cloth, because right now in this Florida 100-degree heat, if you get into leather seats, it's gonna burn your buns off. But overall, an excellent little SUV from Volkswagen. I mean, for 25, man, there's not a lot of cars you can get for 25 and be this comfortable. Got good AC, plenty of good turbocharged power. Obviously, you're gonna be missing in the entertainment center, of course. If you need more high-end radio and, you know, Apple CarPlay and other stuff, you're gonna have to go up to the higher trim. But even still, at around $30,000 for an SEL, if you can get it, or, you know, if you go to the top end SEL with all the bells and whistles, with the sunroof, with the, you know, all that stuff, it's gonna run you about $33,000. But overall, that's still a pretty good price considering this one. Now, unfortunately, Volkswagen does not offer any other type of power engine option, but this is plenty of power for every day, and what this SUV is kind of meant for, you know, for in-town driving, something small. You know, the demographics for this type of SUV is like a small, you know, young mom with a kid, or a small family, or somebody that's young. Actually, I like it. It's more like a Jetta. This really feels, considering that I drove the Jetta, the base Jetta as well, this kind of feels like a Jetta just made into an SUV, to be honest with you. So let me know what you guys think of this SUV. Also, guys, I appreciate everybody. If you guys want to comment, let me know if you have one of these, what you think about this Volkswagen models. And I'm gonna hope this guy doesn't cross us. Let me know what you guys think. I really like this model so far. Really nice. Actually, it's nicer than I expected this Taos to be honest. So let me know, guys, in the comments of what you think, and I appreciate when we're looking at this POV drive of this 2022 Volkswagen Taos. Hey guys, the transmission lifts up very nice, very smooth shifts, which I liked. And I mean, it feels very light. It does feel, I won't say sporty, but it is not floaty. It's not like a very, you know, kind of slow to respond. It's got a pretty good peppy engine. It's got really light, very light steering, the feel to it, but it's got direct. I like the directness to it, but there's not much feeling to it. But I like the way this feels. It feels tossable. It feels like it's just light on its feet. I think Volkswagen did a really nice job with this one. Now, compared to the Ford Escape, this one doesn't feel as sporty. But of course, compared to the SEL, you know, the one I drove. But this is a hell of a little SUV for the money. Yes, I definitely would recommend something like this. It's very nice, and there's a ton of competition in this subcompact segment. You know, Kia, Toyota's got the CHR, you got Nissan, you know, you got all kinds of competition. Buick even has something like that. You know, Ford, Chevrolet, everybody's got. Yeah, well, Ford doesn't have anything anymore because Ford discontinued its EcoSport, so there's no competition in the Ford side. But I think Chevy does have the new Trax, if I'm correct. So, but all right, guys. In conclusion, fantastic little SUV. I mean, for the price, you can't beat this type of ergonomics. What you get for the price. I mean, yeah, you're lacking a little bit of technology, but if you're looking for a basic transportation with a nice peppy power plant for every day, and especially the fuel economy, you're looking at 28, 30 something, mid 30s for highway miles. So this is a pretty efficient SUV as well. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys been enjoying this POV review of this SUV, of this Volkswagen Taos. If you have any questions, guys, or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. Let's go ahead and put our reverse camera there as well. As you can see, there's direction lights don't move. There's no type of sensor or anything like that, but at least you got a camera, and the graphics are pretty decent. But there we go, guys. 2022 Taos SUV. Really like it. I would probably go to a little higher end trim, but overall a fantastic SUV, and especially for around $25,000. So thank you so much, guys, for you guys that have subscribed. Thank you so very much. We're over the 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate every one of you guys that have subscribed, and I got so much more videos coming up. Obviously, I've been busy with the move in the past few weeks now that I'm getting to get a lot of videos out nowadays, and I appreciate every one of you watching. thanks so much, guys. I apologize, I'm not scripted or anything like that, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. As I mentioned, I'm not scripted. I learn as much as I can about the vehicle, so there's no me reading prompts or nothing like that. This is real. This is what you get from somebody that doesn't know. It's not 100% of everything of the car, but as far as the first impressions, this is what I can give you guys. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.